I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Trevor Gibbs. Today's Tuesday, January 20th. Want to give you a heads up. There's a pretty big winter weather event likely coming in the next couple of days across a large part of the south and east of the United States. So here's the weather setup later this week. Strong Arctic high pressure will be diving southward, and that's going to be supplying some very cold air across the eastern United States. There's also going to be a frontal boundary draped across the Gulf Coast and southeast, and along that boundary, an area of low pressure is expected to form. That's going to supply the moisture. The area of high pressure supplies the cold air. You get those to overlap, and you're looking at perfect ingredients for some sort of winter weather event. And this one does appear to be pretty far-reaching and long-lasting from states as far west as, say, Texas and Oklahoma, all the way to the mid-Atlantic region over the course of several days as well. And the cold air is going to linger behind it, so anything that falls is not going to have a chance to melt for quite some time. So a couple of scenarios here. This is the European model as of Tuesday morning, valid for Friday evening, showing that winter weather event beginning across parts of the Central Plains. And then as that moisture rides along that frontal boundary where you see the pink, that would be ice impacts with freezing rain and sleet, and the blue would be heavy snow. And that's across several states from Texas to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and even the Carolinas. So travel is likely going to be significantly impacted in these areas, especially as we get into Saturday and the Sunday time frame. Look at that. Much of the state of Georgia and perhaps most, if not all, of the Carolinas dealing with some sort of winter weather, and that will be pushing offshore by Monday. Other scenarios show similar situations, but a little bit different on the placement of the type of precipitation. It's still pretty far out, all things considered, but pretty high confidence. Places like Texas to Louisiana, again, all across the Gulf Coast states through Saturday and into Sunday and even into Monday of next week could be looking at those winter weather impacts. For us locally in Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia, we're going to be lucky with just a chilly rain, but you won't have to go far probably to see impacts from what could be a pretty serious ice storm across parts of the southeast. When you're talking about more than a half-inch of ice, that's a crippling ice storm, and the air behind this is very cold. So we're tracking those colder than average temperatures all across the eastern U.S. through the end of the month. So those cold temperatures will stay. A lot of what falls is not going to melt pretty quickly, so those impacts could last for several days in some of those areas. Plenty of winter weather still to come, so stay updated through the week.